You are listening to the Unleashed and Aligned podcast, where we strip away the noise, unleash our truth, and align with our highest self. I'm your host, Felicia Dom, certified life coach, Reiki practitioner, and chakra guide, here to help women find deep love and interconnection within themselves. This podcast is here to increase awareness, inspire your journey, and educate you as you reclaim your energy and rise fully into who you are. Check the show notes for links to my healing circle, coaching, and more ways to work with me. Now, let's dive into today's episode. I want to welcome back Tonesha Hyde. She was in our June theme podcast, episode 13, if anyone wants to go back and take a listen if you haven't already. Tonesha is a divine business alchemist, spiritual strategist, and host of the Are You Immeasurable podcast. With 25 plus years in leadership and a lifetime of intuitive wisdom, she helps women, especially Black women and women of color, heal their self-worth, reclaim their power, and align business with soul. Through strategy, shadow work, and energetic healing, Tonesha supports purpose-driven entrepreneurs in a sacred transformation and reminds us we are not broken, we are becoming. Welcome back to the podcast, Tonesha, and I'm so grateful that you have come back onto this podcast, especially for the powerful conversation of this month's theme, which is special needs awareness and disabilities. And I know this is something that's deeply personal to you as a mother of a daughter with special needs, and I'm honored that you're willing to share that lived experience and wisdom with us today. So I guess we can start there. Tell us a little bit about your daughter's journey and how it's been.
It's been wild. And thank you so much for having me back. It actually was something that I guess with most people, something that you never thought about. And it was weird how it evolved. And I guess to make it make a little bit more sense. So she had really been sick for like her whole life. But it was one of those things that never was a hold, if you will, until she had her first crisis, which she was 16. And so what we ended up figuring out, which I know that this is very much a thing for a lot of individuals and parents and things that when this happens, it seems like it takes 4 freaking hours before someone can give you an answer. Like I said, she had always had this issue, that issue. She had really bad asthma as a baby. Because she had the issue with asthma, it was really hard for her to keep her food down and things like that because she would cough so hard that it would make her vomit. She's had been tested for everything known to man. She's had several, and this is like from infancy on up, several upper GIs, several x-rays. They wanted to make sure that her stomach, at first we're thinking that maybe her stomach isn't connected and checking out all of that stuff. That's why she couldn't gain weight or hold her weight and all of this and the other. Again, this was on, and it was off and on until she had her first crisis at 16, which she had been having trouble breathing. So again, they went back to it has to be her asthma, right? To the point that she was on like 4 nebulizer treatments a day. She still was having trouble. And then I got a call from one of her teachers that, like, literally in the middle of conversation, she would doze off.
That's scary. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. And they were like, what is going on? It had gotten so bad that she couldn't even sleep in her bed. She ended up sleeping in the living room on the couch so that she could prop her back up, like where the arm meets the back of the couch, because that's the only way that she could really breathe. Because if she laid down, she'd start coughing, then all of this all over again. So we got a referral from her pediatrician to a pulmonary specialist here at the local children's hospital. And we live in Indianapolis, Indiana. I don't know if anybody knows about that, but we have one of the most world-renowned children's hospital, Riley Children's Hospital. So that's where they sent her. So I'll never forget when it's a specialist, it takes forever, right?
Yeah.
To get to the appointment.
Mm-hmm.
The day of the appointment, we go in, we're talking to the pulmonologist. They're testing her. They're doing what they call PFTs, pulmonary function tests. They do that. And while my baby girl and my oldest daughter are out there doing the test, the doctor comes in the room and talks to me and I can't let her leave. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't let her leave? I can't let her leave. I'm doing a direct admit right now today. I can't in good conscience let her leave. And he was talking about like her O2 stats and all of these things. And yeah, basically her lungs are functioning, I want to say at 35 to 40%.
Wow. And at that moment, what's going on in your mind?
I'm like, what in the hell are you telling me? What does this mean? And so I've got 900,000 questions, but I can't get them to come out of my mouth because I'm freaking out. As a mom, you can't freak out because if you freak out, then the kids freak out. And so it's okay. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. Again, we were thinking we're just going for an appointment. And it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. So we got up, got ready, and went to the doctor. Nobody has eaten. We don't have clothes or any of those
Right.
things. So I asked him, can we go home, get clothes, all of these things? And yeah, it'll probably take about an hour or so for them to get her a bed and all of that. And I'm like, okay. So I'm also thinking about like, how am I going to explain this to her to make sense? So that again, she doesn't freak out. And they come back in the room and I let them know what we're doing. And she's okay. All right. And can we stop and get something to eat? Because at this point, she's so used to feeling bad that it's just an ordinary day for her. So
Mhm.
we leave, we grab something to eat, we go home, we pack clothes, come back. And in the meantime, at that point, I was still working. I was a call center supervisor, floor supervisor. And so I'm texting my job and all of these things in the midst of it's still trying to, everything's fine. It's
Right.
going to run test type thing. We get back to the hospital. They get her in the room. And 2 hours later, she codes.
What?
Yeah. 2 hours later, she codes. And that is one of those things that it's really hard to put into words because it's, wait a minute, it can't be time for my baby to go. Then everything wants to fall apart. But then you remember I have other children that I can't give up because I got to stay strong for her. I got to stay strong for the others. I can't give up because it's just like all of this is going on. So they rush her to now the pediatric ICU, which they call the PICU. So they rush her to the PICU and they intubate her, which is the breathing tube down the throat, all of
Mhm.
that. And she didn't wake up for 3 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And again, this is my baby girl. You know what I mean? Again, regardless if it was the oldest, the middle, the baby, this is still my baby, period. She's 16.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, my whole thing was it can't be her time. It can't be. I'm an intuitive. You would have told me. Somebody would have told me. So what the hell is going on? You know what I mean? And literally, I barely spoke for those 3 days.
So you like from the time that she was rushed to the ICU to the time that she woke up, there wasn't a hesitation that you're like, this is not correct. She's going to wake up. Was that like the thoughts in your head, or was there a moment where you were like, was there any kind
Yeah,
of question?
it was more like bouncing between this can't be and when is she gonna wake up?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I'll say a teeter-totter.
Okay.
And it's, hey, I'm calling on everything, everybody. Somebody tell me something. And I'm
Mhm.
not talking about people. I'm talking about the spirit realm. Somebody got to tell me something like right now
Mhm.
because y'all cannot be telling me this can't be it. This can't be it. It's like I said, I had very little conversation for anything that wasn't related to that exact, the doctors and all of that, because I'm like listening. Somebody has to tell me something because no,
Right.
hell no, this cannot be happening. So yeah, like I said, she slept for 3 days. And then when she woke up, it was still very much like she was on oxygen and the whole nine. She was in the ICU, I want to say, for a week until they figured out how to keep her stable.
Okay.
And it was more along the lines, she would desat when she went to sleep. And
Oh.
so it was almost like, for one, she's exhausted. Because by this point, what the reason that she was dozing off is because she was exhausted. They also realized that her O2 levels in her blood, her CO2 levels in her blood were like triple what they were supposed to be. So then it's the realization that, so what you're telling me is I've been watching my daughter suffocate right in front of me and I didn't even know it. So
Did they know why this was happening?
yeah. And so that led to, again, this whole time they're running tests, they're doing this, that, and the other, trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm getting it in pieces. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Because as they get the results and they get the answers, then I'm getting the pieces. And that's why I said the very first thing was her CO2 levels are way up there. So yeah, that's what it is. So then it's okay, why aren't her lungs being able to filter this out? Because that's what our lungs do. And so then they realized that her lungs were like, her chest wall was like half the size of what it's supposed to be.
Wow.
So almost, again, she was 16 at this time. So they were like, basically, it's the size of an 8-year-old.
Wow.
So either at some point it stopped developing and growing, or it was just growing at such a slow rate that basically her lungs didn't have room to fully expand
Wow.
and do all of those things. And so then on top of that, you have the questions of, okay, she's been going to the doctor regularly all of these years. Why has nobody seen this? Why? And then, the conversations that unless you're looking for it, you're not going to see
Mm.
it. What the hell? What's the point to a doctor?
Then you would think that she had some type of lung issue and they have given her things to help her breathe, they would try to look a little bit closer.
Yeah, you would think. But yeah, I guess the difference in, yeah, even though they saw a pediatrician, he wasn't a pulmonary specialist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's more along the lines of what they were talking about. So as the stay and the test and all of this progressed, it started pointing out, okay, yeah, when she was 2, she had this. And when she was 3, she had this. And when she was 4, she had this. And so it was like all of these little pieces. Like I said, she had continuously been sick, but it was never everything all at one time. It
Yeah.
was one thing that would pop up here and there. So after, I think we spent 2.5 weeks in the hospital, she went home. And then that's when, since then, she's been on oxygen. Like we have oxygen tanks in every closet of the house, just in case, depending on where she's at. If we need to get it, we can get to it.
Yeah.
She actually sleeps with a BiPAP. It's like a whole unit thing. It's called a trilogy. And it's a BiPAP machine. I know most people are familiar with a CPAP,
Right.
but what a BiPAP is almost like, literally, when she goes to sleep, it forces air in for her lungs to expand.
Okay.
And it also doubles as a respirator. So if she's ever too cold or whatever, then, we've been trained on what to do and all of that to get her, I guess, until we can get her to the hospital. Yeah. So literally her room you can't like candles, flames, anything,
Yeah.
because it's oxygen saturated. Yeah, don't do it. You'll blow up half the neighborhood. But even after that, yeah, we came home with all of these things, but they still didn't have answers. They still didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And so it took another like year and a half. She had to go through genetic testing. She's seen every specialist known to man, I swear. I'm just trying to figure out what it is and what's going on. And then finally, they realized that she has something called Myasthenia Gravis,
Well,
which is exactly my daughter's 4'11". I'm like, why is the name of what you have taller than you? I want- But, and then here's the thing, it's a very rare disease. She has the rarest form of
oh
it,
my
which is
gosh.
called slow channel myasthenia gravis, which basically means that her, and I'm trying to make it make sense to, I guess, regular people. It's like basically her nerves and her muscles don't talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've ever, like in biology class or whatever, it's something called the myelin sheath that connect. It's like the it's like a connector between your nerves and your muscles, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Hers aren't there. They don't communicate. So that's part of why her rib cage, her chest wall didn't continue to grow. Not only that, all of the muscles throughout her body are extremely weak. Her
Right.
legs, her arms, her fingers, all of that. And it's one of those illnesses that it'll either pop up as a teenager, which it did in her case, or most people don't know about it until like in their 40s.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when I guess it says, "Hey, I'm here. How are you?" So for her version, there are no treatments, there are no medications, there is no cure.
So
Yeah.
does she is she in a wheelchair or does she still walk around?
Not currently, she can, yeah, she can still walk and she can pretty much do everything kinda sorta, if you will. For example, like for us, if we're doing too much, say you're riding a bike, right? And your legs start to get tired, you'll feel it, right? You'll get a Charlie horse or something like that. Hers don't. They just stop.
Oh,
Yeah, it literally they just stop. So
that's not
she
the best
drops.
party trick.
Exactly. So, like, when it's her hands, like, she'll drop things, or she can't lift herself up, or if she's walking and they decide, "Hey, we're done," she can fall. So, yeah, like, a year after her diagnosis, she broke her leg because she fell.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that you constantly have to be on alert and watching. Instead of, because she doesn't have that where her body tells her, like most we all say, listen to your body. Hers doesn't tell her. And it causes issues. The issues with her lungs is because the lungs are muscle. And so when it gets to the point that the muscles are too weak, that's when she can't breathe.
So if I were to see her walking down the street, I would have no idea that this is
Mm-mm.
something that happens
Unless
to
she's
her.
having a bad day. Now, if she's having a bad day, yes, she has a hard time walking. So she has a wheelchair in the trunk of her car
Yeah.
for when she just can't. She, again, walking from maybe from her car into the gas station back to her car. She's usually fine. But again, anything that we may not think of is extreme to her. Like probably we're on the block we live, we're like 3 houses from the corner. Like walking to the corner and back would be extremely difficult for her.
Yeah.
Because yeah, going she might be fine, but it's the coming back, that type of thing. And different things like during COVID, baby, we were on high alert
Mhm.
because anything that is lung related is a major issue for her. We have to be very careful with any of us getting sick. She's still the only child that's home, but myself or my husband, if either of us get sick, we stay away from her. Like literally, we still like our house since she's been 16 has been like everything was during COVID. So COVID for us in that instance wasn't a big deal. That's how we already live.
Yeah.
But again, it was the concern of I can't take this home to my baby.
Yeah. How did that change the dynamic? between you have 2 other kids?
3.
3 total. Did that
No,
change?
3 other.
Oh,
Yeah.
3 other. Oh, yeah, 4 total.
Yeah, we've got 3 girls and a boy. It's I'll say this, like, my oldest daughter, she is the mama bear child because she's the oldest, right? And often I have to remind her, "Excuse me, I'm her mother." Okay, I'm just saying. So, yeah, she they are very watchful, I'll say
Mm.
that. Very watchful, very concerned. Always, is this something that she can do? Can we do this? Can she do that type of thing. So it's always on everyone's mind. We formed a consensus, all of us, to really watch her when she was first diagnosed because it got to the point. So everything started happening like towards the end of her freshman year of high school, and she struggled through her sophomore year. When she ended up in the hospital was the beginning of her junior year. So she missed her junior and senior year of high school.
Okay.
So she graduated 2 years late. She still graduated and now she's in college. It was very much we had to watch, like, we didn't want her to get depressed. We don't want her on this that big drop from I was normal to now this is going on. So, very much watching her so that any signs of depression, any signs of anything like that, everybody's on it. No, absolutely. Everybody's a cheerleader. No, you're not sitting in your room in the dark. None of that.
Yeah.
Very much. And I guess that's the benefit to us being a close knit family. But yeah, everybody was really on her.
That's good that you are a close-knit family and that the kids participate. And I feel like sometimes it could go where somebody's feeling neglected or somebody's feeling like,
Mhm.
oh, we can't do that now because she can't do that. But it's really awesome that everybody pulled together and was like, let's try to incorporate her and make sure that her mental health is top priority. Because I could
Mhm.
imagine that missing those pivotal moments in missing your friends and missing all that stuff and take a toll at that age
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah. And yeah, that was really even though, yeah, of course, I had other primary concerns, but that was one absolutely because all of her friends went to prom without her. All of her friends graduated without her. All of those things that all of us, these are the things that you're waiting for when you're in high school. These are the things that you've planned ahead of time and all of that. And yeah, she ended up missing them because of that. And so that's another reason that I'm like, yeah, no, I can't let her get depressed. I can't because she's still here. I need her to still be here.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are some of the biggest like mindset or emotional shifts you had through w- finding out this and raising a child with special needs?
You understand, and I'll say that prior to all of this, I had an admiration for mothers that had children with special needs because it's a lot that goes into having children, period.
Yeah.
And yes, you are over the moon that they're normal, if you will, in quotations or whatever. Realizing that if there is even the slightest little something extra, know, the amount of pressure and concern and even fears and things that come with that. So I always had just this deep, sincere admiration for parents that did what they had to do to make it normal for their children when they had those special needs. But still, yeah, you can empathize and you can sympathize and you can think about it, but you still never know.
Yeah.
And then when you're in the thick of it and know, it's like, good, oh my goodness, just all of the things, all of the things that go with it, all of the things that you don't know, all of the things that you never had to deal with, that now you're trying to figure out, you're trying to navigate, you're trying to circumvent, and all of that. It just really adds on to it.
Yeah, it's like being a parent is already hard and then this is like another layer. that gets
Mhm.
added. So what is something that you wish that people understood about parenting a child with special needs, especially when it comes to maybe like support or even assumptions?
It's a lot. I would definitely say that more along the lines of when it comes to assumptions and maybe thinking that, oh, it can't be that bad or, oh, it can't be that hard. You don't know. You don't, because not only is it physically taxing in her case, this, yeah, I always got to make sure that I'm close enough that if she goes to fall or something like that, yeah. So you already have your hand on a swivel anyway. Now that bad boy is spinning like
Tasmanian devil.
yes. And again, if you have other children, and then it's still making sure that everybody has what they need and gets their time and they feel special also, and all of those things. Again, don't assume that okay, yeah, it's just like any other day or every other anything. No, it's really not. And you don't realize the thought and the emotional exhaustion, the mental exhaustion, because you for real have on a persona of mommy or daddy, because when you're really worried, really scared, you're not letting your kids see that.
Right.
So it's a lot of crying in the shower in the middle of the night so that they can't hear you and all of those type of things. It's a lot of whispered conversations between the parents trying to figure shit out. Yeah, and that's just my thing. Just again, always being grateful for what you have, but also understanding that hey, it can always be worse. It could always get worse. And just being again, being grateful, not assuming, not throwing shade or again assumptions, accusations, things like that. Because yeah, until you're in that place, you don't know. You don't know. And even especially if they need therapy, either like physical therapy or different things like that, it's some things, even with the tests, some of these tests, and they're crying and all of that because they're in pain and things like that. You don't know what that does. And that feeling of, I can't do anything.
I was just gonna say like that helplessness because
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. And now it's one of those things that I tease her about, but there were several 2 or 3 days that she didn't speak to me because she had to go do a test or something that she didn't wanna do. And hey, mommy has to make the hard decisions.
yeah.
We need to know. So I know you don't wanna do this. I know it's gonna hurt, all of this, that, and the other, but yeah. And yeah, she would be mad at me and she wouldn't talk to me for a couple days. Alright, that's fine. But even that hurts. But
Right.
it's I gotta do what I gotta do because I gotta know. And you want me to know. Yeah, you can be pissed for a couple days, that's fine. You'll be
Yeah.
alright.
Yeah. I'll just cry in the shower in the morning about it.
Exactly. It's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. I have a routine for this.
So you talked earlier about you're very intuitive and you are asking somebody to give you some information. So has this journey shaped how you view your spirituality in a different way at all?
I think I don't wanna say made me more reliant, but yeah, it made me listen more. It definitely made me listen more because I don't wanna be caught off guard again. And then it's one of those things that, okay, you're trying to remember, well, did I miss something? Was I not listening? Was I distracted? Yeah, I've been through the whole plethora of all of that. Now it's if I hear something, oh, okay, all right, we're on it. And even the kids, my husband, don't hey, say something. Say something. Even if you're not sure, if you don't think you understood, whatever, say something. Say something. You need to tell me. And yeah, I think it helped in a lot of ways, helped me to connect more strongly with my gifts, especially like my intuition and all of those things. Yeah, definitely made me pay a whole lot more attention.
I love that because I can understand when you you're thinking something's wrong and you ignore it, or you think there's something more to this, but then you are like, no, the doctor said this. And I love that you were like, oh, wait, I was right. I knew it.
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's, oh, okay. Yeah. We're not doing that again.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not doing that again.
Oh,
Yeah. And I definitely say, I think that because of that, she had that first crisis. She did have a second one like 2 years later. But since then, we've been pretty good. We've been pretty good.
that's good to hear. What kind of support has made the biggest difference for you from either friends, family, or even strangers?
I think just people wanting to know and wanting to understand. Again, because this is a rare disease, it's not something that you hear about all the time.
Yeah.
And as with most things, there's multiple different forms of it or what have you. Just making sure that people understand, yeah, no, she's not faking. And definitely having our little bubble has definitely been a tremendous help, a tremendous thing. Like, let one of the machines start beeping, my husband loses his mind. He's trying to figure out what's happening, what's going on. Okay. Like I said, the other kids, okay, wait a minute, she ain't breathing right. Are you okay? Are even at now she's 24. Still it's that we have to be in constant communication. Oh, we don't try to suffocate her. We want her to be herself and we want her to go out and do things and learn things. She was still able to get her license. She has her own car. Like I said, she's in college now. So it's, yeah, I want you to live your life. I want you to blossom and learn and explore and expand. At the same time, you're checking in, Miss Ma'am.
Yeah.
So when you leave this house, I need to know when you made it to where you're going. I need to know when you're leaving and you're on your way home. All of these things. I do sadly, and I don't know if this will ever go away. Maybe it's just a parent thing. Every time she calls me and she's out, I do have that moment of panic until like I hear her voice and know that everything is okay. But I don't know that it's something that may ever go away.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like I said, just us having that tight knit and everybody is aware. We're all constantly making sure that we're understanding what's going on, what's happening, those types of things, so that she can live as much as of a normal life as she can.
Yeah.
But yeah, still just again, it's one of those things that we do constantly have to explain it. You know what I mean? New friends, new different things that they're trying to figure out, okay, what is it? She might be telling me like, we'll go like maybe somebody's having a baby or whatever. We'll go to places and different functions and stuff. And it sometimes, like I said, her hands, she can't even open a pump or things like that. But again, you have to, that's one of those things, it just comes with it. Yeah, constantly having to explain it that most of us, we've gotten pretty good at
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
I love that your family has such great communication. So, before we wrap up, for any of the mothers listening who maybe feels overwhelmed or unseen or uncertain, what would you want them to know or maybe remember?
I would definitely say that remember that first and foremost, if you weren't built for it, it wouldn't be happening.
Mm.
And yeah, sometimes it's, oh, but why me? Yeah, we do. Everybody's going to have those moments, but don't beat yourself up for it. Understand that if it's something, regardless, hey, this is what it is. This was his or her destiny. This was written long before any of us were here, whatever. So don't take it personally. Don't beat yourself up for what you didn't know or for what you can't fix. Because I feel like for a parent, that's the hardest thing. Like we were talking about that helplessness because
Mm.
you can't do anything. Don't let it sink in. Don't let it saturate you. Don't become obsessed with that feeling.
Yeah.
Look at the good times. Look at what they're still able to do. Cherish the smile. Cherish when they're happy. cherish those things. Don't look always at the negatives because yeah, that can be consuming. Focus on the positive.
I love that. If you weren't built for it, it wouldn't be meant for you. Tanisha, it's always such a pleasure, and I always gain so much insight, and it's so much fun to speak with you. Thank
Oh,
you
I
so much.
appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being on the podcast.
No problem, love. Thank you for having me.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review so that we can connect with more people to develop our mind, body, and spirit.